Are you tired of having this massive, ugly looking luggage rack airbox on the side of your bike? If you guys haven't been able to tell yet, it's Man in the Box intake time. Let's get into it. Welcome back, guys, to another Honda Navi video. I don't even know what number this is, but it's up there, that's for sure. As you can tell by the intro of this video, we have our first, or well, technically second performance mod for the Navi. It's nice to actually have a performance mod to do to this machine, and I say performance very lightly because there's not much you can actually do with these bikes. They come how they come from the factory. They're cheaply made. They're this, they're that. And you're not going to gain as much horsepower with these as if you just go out and buy a TRX 450 or a CBR 1000 RRR. It's just the reality of it. If you don't like how that looks, the airbox, obviously you can go to Home Depot, go to your local hardware store, purchase a filter, purchase a PVC pipe and a hose clamp, and it will do the exact same job as this. But I like the blue. I like the fancy. I just like it, okay? I bought it for a reason. The reason is within me. But yeah, we're putting in DNA filter. We will not be jetting this in this video. This is an S23 jet kit. I've heard great things about these. It comes with a 38 Pilot. They mark it because all the jet kits are actually the same. They're universal. But because you have websites that are selling these for the Honda Navi, they need to specify which pilot jet to send out with these. So we will not be jetting in this video. I don't really care. We are just putting on the intake. The next video will be available probably later this week. I'm going to pump both of these videos out, and we will jet the carburetor. We will do everything. We'll Welch plug it. We'll do everything. So stick around for that. This is just an intake install. Without wasting any more time, without further ado, let's get right into it. The only thing that's going to be different with my taking off of the airbox is I don't run a Fender. I actually can't run a Fender right now because the exhaust and the tire, I have a 12-inch in the back with a different type of tire, bigger tire. So the stock Fender doesn't fit. I actually adapted for it, but the airbox needs to go. So once I install this new airbox on, I will be able to put the Fender back on. But cut to the chase. If you guys are going to go ahead and take your airbox off, you need to take this bolt off. It is a 10 millimeter, I believe. And there is one, this is your shock area, down in there. Somewhere down in Narnia in your Fender. And then you have two bolts on the bottom. Two bolts on the bottom down there that you have to take off, and then you have to go around and take off your hose clamp, which we will do right now. There's a 10 millimeter right there, and one up here by the front of the CVT. We'll crack these babies loose. And then once you are done with that, go ahead and pull this sheathing up, and there will be a hose clamp on the carburetor that you have to loosen. With that being loose, head around to the other side. I'll go ahead and give you kind of the view. You just pick this up and walk this off. Don't tug it because you're going to go ahead and ruin something. Go ahead, pull this sheathing up. Walk this off of that diameter. There it goes, and the whole airbox comes right off. So to install this hose, I believe there's two hose clamps that come in this kit. One will go where this connects, and one will go on the carburetor side. So for the sake of using old hardware, I will be putting this on with the original clamp. So, and then we go ahead and put this bracket on. It will come from this lower bolt screw. You do have to align this, I think, like that. That's gonna be a heck of a squeeze as well to get this onto that, but I don't think that'll be much of a worry. Kind of just go ahead and put one side on. Just kind of maneuver it around, and it will go on pretty easily. I just fit this on this side, brought it around. We will not tighten that yet. It's nice and snug on there right now. It's not pressed on there yet, but it'll kind of just stay where it needs to. They give you a collar to put down here along with this Allen. I don't know the purpose behind it. I'm gonna guess it's probably due to vibration. And then this will go into this hole, and that will be an Allen wrench. Just gonna go ahead and snug this till it's hand tight. Doesn't really need to be anything spectacular. So once the bracket's on, go ahead and take your DNA filter, lovely little leather. Go ahead and put this across it. And then this should just go right on with no effort whatsoever. You can have it pretty much oriented any way you want. I've seen people with it like this. I've seen people with it like this. I've seen people with it like this. Personally, I'm gonna go ahead and run mine. Ooh, I think that looks kind of cool. Wow. I don't know. I've seen them run mainly like this. I might run mine in line like that. It'll give me a little bit more room to reach that. But it is just a flathead which holds this baby on. Once everything is snugged up, yeah, that's what it looks like. That's literally it. This doesn't want to go anywhere. That doesn't want to go anywhere. Always make sure that clamp is perfectly seated on to the carb. And that is final product right there. Of course, we already have the uni filter crankcase ventilation filter on there already, so that's pretty cool. As far as this bolt for the airbox, I might just go ahead and throw an 8mm through there. I don't like leaving holes open. That one's already filled by this bracket. So as far as it clearing up, wow, does that look. It almost looks like something's missing. And I'll tell you what's missing, the rear fender. It just looks way more open. You can see everything. I'm sure I'm gonna be able to clean this a whole lot better for maintenance and stuff like that. Gonna be able to access things easier. And another thing as well, if you ever go ahead and do CVT upgrades, you'll be able to just have no problem taking that cover off. You don't have to, balance the airbox or take off the entire airbox. You pretty much just go ahead and undo all these bolts everywhere. Obviously, you'll have to redo your brake bracket underneath that runs alongside it, but you won't have to deal with this big old airbox anymore. As far as weight savings go, easily 5-10 pounds. Easily. That thing is so heavy. This weighs absolutely nothing. It's a silicone hose and a DNA filter with an aluminum bracket. So really not much going on there. It's a pod filter. I'm sure you can make something cheaper, but this looks really cool. So that's pretty much it. Just another informative video. If you guys are checking out the Man in the Box stuff, I highly recommend it. Despite the price might not be too attractive to some people, but I love it. It looks unbelievable. Performance is going to be there as well. It's a quality product. Answer a couple questions that I'm already going to have. Why did I go a blue tube with a red filter on a black and green bike? Well, that's because that I love the United States. I already have a little bit of red, white, and blue around the bike, and I'm going to be adding a lot more. to that. I wanted to do everything right before the 4th of July, but things just didn't work how I planned them to. But we will slowly get there. Everything's coming along great. So, yeah. We already have little bits and pieces of red, white, and blue coming together. So I think this bike will look pretty unbelievable by the time I am done with it. Few other things I'm gonna order for aesthetics and stuff like that, just to make this bike completely mine. The rear fender will be going back on. If anybody has questions about that, I can go ahead and make a short video on how I spaced this fender out for this 12-inch rear rim. The tires I'm currently running, if anybody is curious, it's called a Shinko Whitewall SR 723, and I am running this in 110/70/12. And this is both front and rear. The front actually just went right on. Didn't have to shave the fender, no nothing, no boot rub. That bolted right on. This, unfortunately, I did have to shave a little bit off the motor. It wasn't tragic. It wasn't anything to worry about. I highly recommend these tires. These are gummy tires. These are extremely soft. That's both a good and a bad thing, which means that this, the rubber is definitely going to wear a lot quicker than a heavier, more solid tire. But the feel of this bike, the grip that you get on the road, is pretty unmatched. I was a little nervous about Shinko. I've ordered their tires in the past and they actually haven't let me down. And these are dual rotation as well. So you have the rotation arrows. This is the rear rim, so it's going to be going that way. And the front has the rotation arrows as well. Right there. So rotation front. So same tread design, works in both directions. So if you guys were hoping this was going to be a video all about tuning and carburetor stuff, this is not your video. The next video will be your video, trust me. The Navi is going to go ahead and get some more upgrades very, very soon. Slowly building it to what I want it to be. We are currently sitting at almost 4,000 miles. We are 15 miles away from it being 4,000 miles, and I've had absolutely nothing but a ball on it. So if you're thinking about getting one, why haven't you already? But yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.